So it's been a couple of days since iOS 26 has came out, and I really got to thinking a little bit. Sometimes I can get in my head, sometimes I can just kind of start thinking some things. And the thing I started thinking about is that without a doubt, the iPhone XR could have probably gotten iOS 26. And I honestly think iOS 26 could have probably been a smart update for the iPhone, XR to have. Now, I'm not bitter about it. I think it makes sense. I think, if Apple didn't want to go and, support that next device, I think it's a good idea. I think it makes sense, especially if Apple wanted to kind of end off iOS 18, like maybe on a bang, they didn't want to go and support the next iteration of software. I think it totally makes sense, but I do think from a sheer power standpoint, the iPhone XR could have probably ended up getting iOS 26. And I do feel like it could have ran pretty much how it's running on the iPhone 11 right now, which isn't perfect, but it kind of gets the job done, Now, when I take a look at essentially what iOS 26 basically brought to the table, meaning what exactly were the new changes within this version of software, the main things that I basically look at are essentially these new types of, UI types of changes, right? The liquid glass display or liquid glass approach that they've done. I think it's really cool. It's a new little thing that they kind of threw in here. But here's the problem that we're kind of running into when it comes down to these softwares. When it comes down to these types of devices, right, on the iPhone XR, the main problem that we're running into right now is that with something like an iPhone XR on iOS 26, Apple's probably going to walk back some sort of, I don't know how they're going to do this, but they're going to walk back some portion of the liquid glass approach. They're going to turn off something in the background or give us more capability of turning it on or off or leveling it out. If that ends up being the case, then the main feature set of iOS 26 is going to go down like crazy, right? Because then who's going to go and then what's the big upgrade within iOS 26? It's just a bunch of minor stuff. When I look back at another minor update Apple made, which was like iOS 12, it brought a lot of stability. It was a very stable version of software. And it also brought a couple of cool features here in the background, but it was specifically a stable update. iOS 26 hopefully gets more stable, but we're really going to have to keep our eye on it and kind of see what the stability is behind it. And hopefully it's a big jump up from iOS, 18. But in my opinion, I really do feel like the iPhone XS or iPhone XR and the XS could have probably gotten iOS 26. So in terms of that kind of covers it up there. If you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.